Hey guys, it's me again, Nova, the edgy karate guy, your Tekken buddy. Recently, I've done a deeper research on a subject I've already talked about in a previous video. That video was Return to Tradition, in which I asked for 6 precision nerfs on Tekken 8 Jin Kazama in exchange for a reform on his low game for high-level Tekken and a greater appeal to his identitarian tradition, that is, reactive gameplay. That being said, in that video, the first subject I covered was the strongest move from Jin ever since Tekken 4, Jin's 214. In that video, I asked for a strict return to the traditional standards of 214. That essentially meant a nerf on 214 counter-hit knockdown property that Jin received in Tekken 8 on the 3rd hit of the string. I discussed that this buff was an exaggeration and not necessary to make Jin's 2-1 work as intended, as it always worked. You don't need the counter-hit knockdown to make 2-1 work as intended. And even if the counter-hit knockdown was removed, Jin's 2-1 would be his undisputed strongest move by very far, and it's not even a contest, guys. Turns out there's more to it. I've made a deeper research on the novelties of Tekken 8 Jin 214, and I've come to the most reasonable conclusion on why and how this move must be nerfed. Fasten your seatbelt, guys, because we're going for a ride. Here we go. As I showed in my previous video, Return to Tradition, even though Jin's 2-1 was always the most powerful move from Jin, it always traditionally had an 100% efficient counterplay. I'll repeat, 100% efficient counterplay. The counterplay is called backdashing on the blocked 2-1. Jin goes 2-1, you immediately backdash. You're not supposed to challenge and mash into the 2-1 string, ever. If you mash into it, you're giving the Jin player all that he wants. So we're not doing that, alright? Instead, we're backdashing the hell out of 2-1. And why do we backdash? By backdashing, it will lead into 2 possibilities. 1. Jin will give you a free 50-50 if he goes for the 3rd hit of 214 without delaying it. You will block it, he will be at -9 right in front of you. At -9, he can't move, he can't jump, he can't do shit, essentially. 2. By backdashing on the blocked 2-1, Jin will kill himself if he tries to follow up the blocked 2-1 into other small pokes and fundies Jin will go for in order to keep making use of the mental frames on 2-1. And also, he will kill himself if he ever dares to delay 214. By him delaying 214, expecting you will mash into it, he gave you the capacity to make the 3rd hit with completely killing himself in the process. You have a guaranteed launch punish. Now, let's do a historical recap, because I always back up my claims with material evidence. Let's see Jin's 2-1 and its counterplay throughout Tekken history. 2-1 was introduced in Tekken 4 when Jin transitioned into Kyokushin Karate, and in this game it was completely broken. At +1 on block and +12 on hit. The fact that the Tekken 4 system intentionally sabotaged backdashing, putting a forced emphasis on up-close poking, and you can look it up, didn't really help the situation either. Jin's 2-1 in Tekken 4 was completely broken. Now, the Jin 2-1 you know to this very day was introduced in Tekken 5. Both its properties and also its counterplay is absolutely the same by 20 years already. Now, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 introduced the possibility for Jin to delay 2-1-4, giving Jin an extra nuance against people who mash into 2-1, but also making the proper counterplay even more effective. Undelayed 2-1-4, I get a free 50-50. Undelayed again, free 50-50. Delayed 2-1-4, he kills himself. 2-1 into follow-up, he kills himself. Undelayed again, free 50-50. Undelayed again. Undelayed again. Undelayed again. 2-1 into follow-up, he kills himself. Now, as the counterplay to Jin 2-1 is the very same since Tekken 5, you'd expect it would be exactly the same in Tekken 8, right? Well, it is. Novelties aside, it still is. But let's check it out because there's more than it meets the eye here. And I want you guys to see it because it's really bothering me. Kills himself. Free 50-50. Kills himself. Free 50-50. Reactable. Shoot them reactable. Duck and punish. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys, now we have a problem here. This is a problem indeed. Guys, this shouldn't happen. It can't be like this. Since Tekken 5, it never was. This can't be like this because it puts a dent on the counterplay. Of course, it's not like 11 damage minus 1 on hit is the end of the world, the apocalypse. But still, this should not happen. And now, once again, we have to make the right questions. Why is this happening? And I really wanted to know why. So I went to look for it in forensic detail. This is happening because of a sum of different factors. 1. Tekken 8 Jin was physically remodeled, and not without reason. There are 2 characters in Tekken 8 that underwent a complete physical remodeling. These characters are Jin Kazama and Eri Gordo. The reason Jin was physically remodeled in Tekken 8 is because Tekken 7 Jin had defective lateral movement. Tekken 7 Jin couldn't move laterally like a normal-sized male character of his category. Also, traditional Jin's model had an issue with stubby arms that led into non-range on most of his fundies and also a joke unbelievable lack of range on his 12-frame Punisher and some other moves to add insult to injury. This is no more in Tekken 8. And also, he received a massive boost on his fundies, 2-1 included. 2-1 reaches much further than it used to reach. Jin projects himself forward before doing the straight right. That means his already most powerful move became more powerful as a result. 2. Backdashes were nerfed across the board in Tekken 8. Not only the backdash cancel, the Korean backdash, but the power of an individual backdash in itself. Let it be known, Korean backdash speed has nothing to do with space coverage. The priority is not how fast you can cancel, but how much space you can cover in a set amount of time. There is an ideal, perfect fine-tuning between the speed of your cancels and the juice you must extract for each individual backdash. This fine-tuning varies from character to character. Traditional Eddie, for example, was a freaking space rocket if you went for successive fast cancels. This perfect fine-tuning varies from character to character. That being said, doesn't change the fact that the individual backdash was nerfed in Tekken 8 across the board. Not only Korean backdashes are terrible for many characters in this game, but the individual backdash was nerfed across the board. And there lies the problem. Some characters had it worse than everyone else, like King, Jin, Law, and Brian. Let's look Jin, for example. This is Jin's most optimized backdash in Tekken 7. This is what happens if you went light speed Korean backdash. You could still cover space quite alright, even though it covers less space per second than the perfect fine-tuned backdash. Now, let's see what happened with Tekken 8 Jin backdash. Look what happens when I try to light speed Korean backdash with Tekken 8 Jin. Bro, this is a joke. This is insulting. It's like the character is bound by shackles. Now, this is the most perfect fine-tuned backdash from Tekken 18. This is the absolute best you can do to cover space with him in this game. This is extremely clunky because most whiffs happen in range 1 or 2. The whiffs you create, you usually create them in range 1 or 2. And with this new backdash, you just can't create these whiffs. It's just too damn clunky and restricted. Three, there was a small decrease in the pushback from 2-1 on block. 4. Tekken 8 Jin physical remodeling led into a 0.02 increase in down 4 range. A very small increase, but such a small increment would not ever be a decisive factor to make 2-1 down 4 connect so consistently on a backdashing opponent. So there's definitely more to it than this small increase on down 4 range in itself. Because as you can see, there will be exceptions. You have the bears with their retreated hurtbox on their legs. You also have Lily, which... Lily, enough said. And then there will be the two abominations, Zafina and Alisa, the absolute best backdash in the game when it comes to evading moves from point blank range, particularly lows. But the thing is, this should be the reality for every character. Tekken is about movement. Tekken is movement. The sum of different, completely separate factors is leading to this, which really shouldn't happen. In the end, what we found out is that there's a systematic problem within Tekken 8. The nerfed backdashes across the board is harming how you should play this game defensive-wise. It is limiting your defensive options too damn much. And I'm definitely entitled to talk about it because Tekken 8 Jin has the second worst backdash in the game. I know firsthand what it's like, the incapacity to create whiffs in Tekken 8 by moving backwards. This is something profoundly irritating. You can only create whiffs with Jin in this game by moving sideways. You can't do it by moving backwards. It is incredibly difficult to create a whiff of Jin in this game. You see, I can't create a whiff. What the hell is wrong with Tekken 8 backdashes, man? So, how can we solve this? How to completely balance Jin 214 again? There are two routes to be taken. Either they should target the systematic issue and the mistake that is Tekken 8 characters in general having terrible backdashes, or they can target Jin specifically. And how so? First, by reverting Jin 214 to its traditional standards of power once again, meaning removing the counter hit knockdown on the third hit. Second, slightly increasing the pushback on block of Tekken 8 Jin 2-1. The goal here is to make the counterplay to 2-1 100% effective once again. That is how you properly balance Jin's strongest move. You make it into what it always was traditionally, and you make the counterplay 100% effective once again. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the ride, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the kindness and the support you guys give me. And we'll be seeing each other again. God bless.